All right. Welcome, everybody. Good evening. Happy hump day, I guess. Kind of stoked to do tonight's stream. We're doing burgers, smash burgers specifically, but also my favorite, a bacon double cheeseburger. We're going to do two burgers tonight. Bacon double cheeseburger, which is my favorite burger, which I have spent a long time trying to get it right, and I think it's pretty good. And I'm also going to do what's called an Oklahoma burger, which is one of the original burger recipes. It's super simple. There's like 5 ingredients, and it tastes amazing. So we're going to do that after the bacon double cheese. But let me get started with discussing, first of all, what a burger is. That's pretty straightforward. Burger is a ground beef patty between 2 pieces of bread at its most basic. People argue about the origins of where a burger came from. There is no exact origin story for a burger. All of the anecdotal ones share really 2 things in common. They were every origin story involves a street vendor, and every origin story involves some sort of fair or gathering or whatever. Hey, Canada. So yeah, nobody knows, and it's not super relevant. I mean, who cares, right? So we're going to talk a bit about bacon double cheeseburgers, because for a long time, I worked on this recipe for a long time. And plates not in the oven. We don't need to do plates in the oven tonight, because we're just serving a burger. I know, I made such a big deal about plates in the oven, and like the last few streams, we just haven't done meals that require plates in the oven. And next week as well, we don't need to have plates in the oven. But thank you for reminding me. So, bacon double cheeseburger is, people get confused about what the actual goal of a bacon double cheeseburger is, or any, when am I making them for you? Well, we'll have to see about that. Actually, we can do that at Pete's. He took on my insanely powerful grill, which is a whole other story. But we can do them there, social distance on his patio. This is my current grill. Okay, sorry, I got sidetracked. Excuse me. Bacon double cheeseburgers. Any double burger is not about twice the meat. A lot of people think that, like a double burger is like a double whiskey. It's supposed to be twice as much of the sort of feature ingredient, and that's not the case. The advantage of a bacon double cheeseburger is not the fact that you have twice as much meat. In fact, I make the patties pretty small. It's that you have an extra layer for more bacon and cheese. So you have like your patty, and we'll talk about special sauce in a sec, cheese and bacon, patty, cheese and bacon, and then the top of the bun. Oh shit, I should have turned this on a long time ago. Alright, so while we're waiting for this to heat up, let's talk about the different ingredients that go into a hamburger. So first of all, feature ingredient, ground beef. This is medium ground beef, regular ground beef, 80-20 chuck, whatever you want to call it. Actually, in Canada, it's like 78, 42 or 32 or something weird. But anyway, this is what you want. You do not want lean ground beef. You don't want extra lean ground beef or any of those other things. I'm sure lean and extra lean ground beef have uses. I don't know what they are, but it's certainly not burgers. And don't use, try and get good ground beef from a butcher. If you know your supermarket guy, or you have a supermarket with a decent butcher counter, I guess that's okay. But this really is the feature ingredient. It makes a big difference. Regular ground beef out of the supermarket freezer or the cooler bin is going to be disappointing. It will really elevate your burger to get good ground beef. Bacon, pretty straightforward. Again, I get my bacon from the butcher. You can buy really good bacon in the supermarket. That's fine. So that's no problem. Buns. I have not been able to find good burger buns in Toronto anywhere. I don't know if they exist. Everything in the supermarket is gross. Wow, excuse me, too much beer. Dempster's buns are gross. The one bun I found that actually works decently is from Farm Boy. Is their brioche bun. It's a little soft, but it's definitely the best one that you can buy in a supermarket. I finally gave up. I made these. These are called potato buns, and if you Google the recipe, you can find it. They're all over the place. It's a really famous recipe. The reason it's actually a mashed potato is part of the dough, and the reason the mashed potatoes in the dough is the starches from the potato inhibit the gluten growth, so you get a nice soft bun. Okay, the other part of a classic American burger is cheese. And here's another thing you can't get in Canada, is good American cheese. American cheese is a real thing. Kraft singles are what we get in Canada, and you can use them in a pinch. But in the States, you get it's an actual thing they make. American cheese made out of good cheese, and you get nice slices that taste amazing and melt really easily over a burger. You cannot get that in Canada. The closest thing I've ever seen is Kraft makes a cheese slice that kind of comes in a block called the Kraft Deluxe, which is a little bit thicker than a cheese slice, and it's not bad. But I decided it would be easier just to make them because it's not all that difficult. There's a little bit of cooking science that goes into this. I use sodium citrate a little bit in these, but you don't have to. You can use, if you want the recipe, just ask me. You can use, these are basically a little bit of evaporated milk, some gelatin, a little sodium citrate, and a little liquid. And then you just, so the evaporated milk's liquid, boil it up, throw in your cheese, and it just comes to a really, really nice smooth consistency. I just poured this into one of my quarter sheet pans over saran wrap. I let it set in the fridge, and then when it was done, I just cut it with a knife, and each one has like a little plastic backing on it. So I hope they taste good. Camera switch. Oh yeah, that's a good idea. There we go. Now you can see my stuff. Okay, so we talked about the cheese. Got the bacon up there. The onions we'll talk about in a second. I got my buns. This is getting hot, but it's not quite there yet. So let's talk about tip of the week, which is actually totally off topic, but I happened to find these when I was getting ready. So we go through a lot of Parmesan here. I do a lot of Italian cooking, and it goes in Caesar dressing or Caesar salad, whatever. So we use a lot of Parmesan. And you always get these, the little rotary grater, and you get these ends, which is like really close to the rind. And what the hell do you do with them? They make amazing dog treats, actually. If you have a dog, these are fantastic. If you don't, I keep these around. You can throw this in a soup. You can throw it in stock. You can basically throw it in anything liquid. It'll melt and give a really nice umami boost to whatever you're making without it tasting like cheese if you don't, just throw in a couple pieces. So that's the tip for the week. Almost hot enough. All right, we're going to talk a little bit about the onions because I'm still waiting for the grill here. So these are the onions for the Oklahoma burger, which we're going to talk about a little bit later. These need to be like crazy thin. So the easiest way to do that is with a mandolin, which is this is what I have here. So this is comes in this very fancy stand, which is actually hard to get out of. You guys have all seen this. This is a V. I call it a V slicer, mandolin, whatever. Zip, 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 and it makes amazing slices out of everything. However, I discovered today that this mandolin does not didn't cut my onions slim enough. It's only got two settings. It's got thick and thin, which has been so far fantastic for everything I've needed it for up until now. But it did not slice my onions thin enough, so I had to do it with the chef's knife, which was a bit of a pain in the ass, but I got it done. The other thing for these onions, because you'll see when we make this burger, you want these, they're not on the grill for very long, and you want them to caramelize very quickly. So if you just take raw onion, there's a lot of moisture in it, and it will prevent the onion from caramelizing in the time that it's on the grill. So throw them in a colander, sieve, whatever you want, salt them and let it sit over a bowl, and they'll shed like a ton of liquid. Like this much onion shed like a quarter cup of liquid. It was incredible. So anyway, we'll revisit that when we get to that burger. And then the final ingredient for my bacon double cheeseburger is my special sauce, which I'm going to show you guys. I used to call it my secret sauce, but it's not really a secret because I tell everybody I know how to make it. I'm going to show you guys how to make that. It's really straightforward. I need a ramekin. Use this guy. Okay. While we're talking about secret sauce ingredients, I'm not really tied to any particular brands. Brand names don't really impress me a whole lot. However, there are certain brand names in cooking for condiments that really are iconic, and they're iconic for a reason. They're just a really, really good product. So they are Heinz ketchup. Despite all the controversy and Heinz firing all those Canadian workers and whatnot or pulling their factory, this is still the best ketchup you can buy. If you're really hung up on the Heinz controversy, French's ketchup is also really good, but I really like Heinz. And it's in the secret sauce, so we're going to do that right here. I like French's better, eh? Well, I'm a Heinz guy. I do, however, and this isn't in the secret sauce, but I want to mention it, French's mustard is fantastic mustard for like hot dogs and sausages and whatnot. If you need like a diner style mustard, French's is amazing, and I've never had a mustard that's even close to as good as that. And finally, which is also in the secret sauce, is Hellmann's mayonnaise. You guys can see. Should I switch? But no, I'm going to do that thing here. Depending on what I'm doing, if I need a mayonnaise for a specific purpose, I'll make it. But for day in day out stuff, if I don't feel like making mayonnaise, Hellmann's tastes amazing. It's really good. I don't like. I tried Miracle Whip once, and I don't know exactly what Miracle Whip is. It's definitely not this. So for the secret sauce, you have equal parts ketchup and mustard. Sorry, ketchup and mayonnaise. We also have relish. I don't have a brand for relish. I don't really care. And in fact, I realized just before the stream I was out of relish, so I had to whip some up. So this is Rob brand homemade relish. And you don't want a ton of this. It's got a very strong flavor because of the vinegar. But maybe that much. So if this is one part, this is like a third of a part. Okay, that's that. We also want, did I take this off the camera? No. A little bit of vinegar. You can add, a lot of people add sugar to their secret sauce. I don't, because I find the ketchup is plenty sweet. A little bit of salt. Some pepper. And that's it. Just give it a good mix. I always make too much of this. But I wanted you guys to get a feel for the portions or whatnot. I'm going to give that a good blend. Hang on. There we go. Okay, much better consistency. Secret sauce. Okay, so we're ready to put the bacon on the grill. So we're going to go ahead and make the bacon double cheeseburger. I mean, this is pretty straightforward. You obviously can do this in a cast iron pan. Like, don't do it non-stick, obviously. I don't know, maybe that's not obvious. Don't do it in non-stick. And that is probably really loud for you guys, isn't it? Shift the cake. Well, no, I can't. I'm maxed out on the plug. Can you guys still hear me over the sound of the bacon? Okay, so any questions so far? Why so hot on the bacon? this isn't a super powerful grill, so I basically tend to use it on max all the time. And we are going to want the grill super hot for the smash burger part. And in fact, we can move right to the burgers now because bacon will cook fast. Over here. Not right under the mic. That's okay. Maybe that's a little hot. So we have a nice layer of bacon grease here to fry the burgers. Yeah, I know this is loud. Hopefully it'll die down in a sec. I'm very quiet. Am I just too far from the mic? Any better? The mic can't really boost the gain on the mic anymore. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, I know it's loud. Yeah, I don't need duck fat because I got bacon here. So when you're portioning out your burgers, these are 3-ounce balls. So it's not a lot of meat, not even a quarter pounder here. And don't pack them, don't compress them. You just kind of want a very loose ball because you need to be able to squish this down, and you also want a lot of airspace in it. So this goes on like this. And you just give it a good smash. It sticks. There we go. So that's one. I'm going to cheat. That guy, that didn't work. All right. So these patties cook really fast. Bacon's done. So, in case you're wondering why I'm hiding, I think I said this last week, the microwave is not hidden, I'm not ashamed of it, it's just, it had a really bad glare from the lights. Okay. We're going to let these go just a little bit more. I like burgers personally. That would be my go-to for a good solid burger. Okay, I'm gonna salt this side because I've got time. Don't pepper your burgers. I don't know why you would, but if you're ever thinking about it, pepper scorches, and on a really hot griddle, it's just gonna taste nasty. Hero Burger. Hero Burger's still around. There's one right here in the beaches. Oh, this looks amazing. Okay, so these are ready. Got a good crust on them. Now we're going to try my cheese slices. And at this point I usually, because I always start my bacon too early, to keep it from overcooking, I usually just pop it up now. And I'm going to pop the buns on for a sec. And we're going to let that go just a couple minutes. You can also toast your buns like this, nothing wrong with that. It depends on whether you want like a steamed effect or an actual, I've never been to Johnny's. So maybe a little steam one side. I actually prefer steam. That's really hot. Okay, so these are done. Plate. One sec. Almost forgot. Went to all that trouble to make special sauce and didn't put it on. Okay. Special sauce on the butt. Patty 1. Alright, so let's have a look at this guy. So, I hope you guys can see this. I like the way the cheese is melted. And there you go, that is like the basic bacon double cheeseburger. Which is actually smoking hot, it looks like. So any questions on bacon double cheeseburger? I'm going to find out in a sec. I'm going to actually just... So, one of the neat things about this grill is it pops up a little bit too much grease on the grill. All right. Hi, Monica. Didn't you come on? I do not do delivery. Look how juicy this is. It's crazy. Mmm. Mm-hmm. It's really good. It's really very, very tasty. Wow. And I'm actually going to switch plates. It's very juicy. Okay, give me 2 seconds, guys. I'm just going to deliver the rest of this to someone who's hungry. And I'll be right back, and we'll do the Oklahoma burger. Okay, back. So, any questions on bacon double cheeseburger? That's a pretty straightforward burger. You know, making the cheese, it was fun. It really wasn't that tough. I just, as I said, you make the cheese mixture. I just poured it into one of these guys and let it set. And it melted amazing, and it tastes amazing. It's much better than a Kraft single. No, just salt, guys. If you're buying good ground beef, you only need salt. It's the only thing you should put on a burger. I know that for a while. I'm gonna turn this down for a sec. I know for a while, like pub burgers were all the rage, and people were mixing up their burgers with different seasonings and eggs and breadcrumbs and putting all kinds of weird things in your burger, and it's not good. Don't do it. Get really good meat and stick with salt. You can. I've done that a couple times. I've also done things like I used to have a meat grinder, which Pete has actually. I've ground bacon into my ground beef as well, which sounds really good, but it didn't work at all. But you could absolutely grind a little bit of pork in. I wouldn't use a lot of pork. You know, a burger's all about the beef. So if you throw pork in, you're kind of making it more like some kind of sausage type thing. But I mean, if that's what you want, go ahead. Like, I'm not going to tell you what's good for me. For me, a burger is about really fantastic ground beef. And you'll see as we do this next one, how simple a burger can be. So I know that not everybody has time to make special sauce in advance. So I'm going to show you how to make a burger that is probably, like, it's one of the best burgers you can make. Like, it tastes absolutely fantastic, and the ingredients are super simple. So in this one, we have we're going to have our ground beef again, a bun, obviously. We're going to have salt, which is here, and the onions, and that's it. So, cheese. Of course, cheese, right? So we're going to do that right now. I want to get this guy going. You do want, for smashing your burgers, a pretty substantial, no condiments, doesn't need it. You want a pretty substantial spatula for smashing your burgers. You can use a bacon press. You can use the bottom of a cast iron pan, but you won't be able to use like your regular spatula. Alright, let's see what this stick it is. There we go. Oops. So then right away, we're going to take a good chunk. And we're not shy about the onions here. And the reason, I should talk about why this burger came into existence. Because this is one of the oldest preparations. I mean, this is where White Castle, or how White Castle got its start. And the reason is after during and after the First World War, can't see the action. There you go. Action cam. During and after the First World War, beef was actually super expensive. So in order to stretch the beef, they just added onion because they had tons of it kicking around. So again, this is going to cook really, really fast. I wouldn't use anything. So with 80-20, there's enough fat in the patty to, like, you can see it. You can see it already. Like, the amount of fat rendering out of this burger will keep it from sticking. So you don't need to add oil at all, and you don't want to inhibit your crust. So I would generally just throw it on a, like, even in cast iron, I would throw this into a dry cast iron pan. Okay. Not quite yet. Okay, now we'll do for a flip. We're going to let this go a little bit longer on the onion side to get some. So I had this thing maxed out. Add a little salt. So here goes, our salt goes on. And then on top of the salt, we throw in our cheese slice. You can see I got nice, even square corners on this guy. I would, honestly, I think if I wasn't doing this on stream, I probably would do this in a cast iron pan and get it a little bit hotter. You want a really, really hot surface, because, especially in this one's all about caramelizing the onions. It's all about getting a nice crispy crust on the burger. You can see from my misshapen buns, I'm not much of a baker, but they taste good. So, any questions on this guy? And again, here's something where we can, like, just steam and warm up the bun here. If you look, I don't know if you guys know White Castle, but they started around, I guess, the 20s. And again, during the shortage. So if you look at a White Castle, they have those funny square patties. There's also 5 holes in them, which they claim is there to allow the meat to steam up, the onions and everything, to steam up and cook, or steam the bun. I have a feeling it's just because it's less meat. But this isn't a bad way to prepare your bun either. What are we doing here? So we're getting a pretty good crispy onion thing going on here. Cheese is getting melted. Looks good. Not quite there yet. So you can literally throw this together in no time at all. I'm going to cheat and just warm my bun up here. we go. Ooh, hot. Shit. All right. So I'm going to switch so you guys can have a look at this guy. And again, it's hard to see the caramelized onions, but we got like nice crispy caramelized onions. Any questions on this guy? Can't wait to try it, actually. You can also make these a double if you want. I'm not super hungry tonight. I'm going to eat this, but you can definitely double up on these guys, make it 2 patties. Okay. So, wow. It's funny. This is a totally different taste sensation than the bacon double that we just had. The onion really adds a lot to it. This is sweet. It's a little bit salty. It's got an amazing umami flavor to it. It's rich. You can't see, but the meat is just slightly pink inside, which is the way I like it. And this took like 2 seconds to throw together. Like you can make these. You have to find a way to cut the onions, because what you really do need a thin onion. By the way, that's a Vidalia onion. So use a sweet onion, a white onion, or a Vidalia onion. You could probably just use regular cooking onions in a pinch, but the sweet onion has a nice flavor to it. Okay, but you don't have to do that. You can find, okay, so when I was researching potato buns recipes, there is a bun manufacturer which I've never seen before called Martin's. They're really famous in the States. Apparently you can get them in Canada at specialty grocers. If you go to their website, I literally just found it before the stream started. So Martin's makes a potato bun, which should be really good. And I mean, throw a Kraft single on it. It's not the end of the world. If you can find the Kraft Deluxe singles, use those. Those are great. There's nothing wrong with a Kraft single. I mean, I throw those in grilled cheese sandwiches all the time. And the homemade cheese is actually super easy to make. Kraft Extra, is that what they're called? I thought it was like Kraft Supreme or Deluxe or something. Kraft Extra, if you can find those. I've actually never seen them, but I think you can get them at like Sobeys maybe? Don't know. I'm gonna eat more of this, guys. This is really good. Okay, so shorter stream than normal. That was a quick prep, but it's supposed to be. It's a burger. Does anybody have any questions? We want to talk a little bit about next week, because I had some really good suggestions and some really good ideas for next week, especially since we're getting into the summer. So I really like to cook Mexican in the summer. I mean, I like it all year round, but in the summer it's easier to get the stuff, fresh food. I really like the flavors. And I'm not talking like Taco Bell Mexican. I'm talking traditional Mexican. So next week I want to do. I'm going to do carne asada, which is just is a beef preparation. I'm going to use skirt steak, which I already have in the freezer, which is great. I'm also going to do fish tacos, like a Baja style fish taco, which is it's any kind of white fish really, beer batter and fried, and to serve with a little slaw. I'll show you guys how to make tortillas. We'll do flour tortillas and corn. So Baja stuff, which is a little northern, is a flour tortilla. And carne asada, you would normally serve, well, you can do it on either. Do I do veggies at all? I mean, there's a slaw on the tacos. Does that count? And by slaw, I mean, I think it's just chopped red cabbage. Anyway, I will do veggies. I am a little bit excited to do the Mexican thing because, as I said, I want to teach you guys or show you guys basic techniques that you can use, that you can take and use week in and week out for all kinds of other stuff. Knowing how to make tortillas is, first of all, it's super easy. And the only downside of making your own tortillas is once you make and eat your own tortillas, whether it's corn or flour, you won't want to do anything else. So you run that risk. So if you don't want to be spoiled forever, don't tune in next week. But I mean, knowing how to make tortillas is really, really great. And it's so simple. And you can make up a batch at the beginning of the week. You can freeze them. You can make a big stack of corn tortillas, put them in the freezer, or flour. It's hard to buy really good fresh tortillas. And quite frankly, they don't ever reheat quite as well as they taste when they just take it right off the flat top and put your filling in and eat it just the minute it's cooked. It's fantastic. So I would like to do that for you guys next week, and that'll be a little bit longer because we're going to do two different kinds of tacos. We're going to talk about tortillas and all that stuff. So any other questions? I'm going to hang around for a few minutes as always. But I'm going to step away from this grill. It is just really hot in here. Yeah, questions about equipment, materials, technique, anything else? That might be excessive. But you do want your cast iron pans hot. Especially for carne asada. I'm going to have to open all the windows for that night. It goes into a marinade, and the marinade, even if you like drip it off, the marinade smokes like there's no tomorrow. So well, you'll see next week. I think next week I will do that in the cast iron pan. So normally I do it, fry it up on here, but I'm only do it a little bit, and I'll need the space for the deep fryer for the fish tacos. Okay, so for fish tacos, I have a deep fryer. I realize that not everybody has a deep fryer. You should, but I get that not everybody has one. Do you want me to show you like how I would do like a deep fry, semi-deep fry preparation in a cast iron pan? Like the way anybody could do it? I can do that for the fish tacos. It's not that hard. Maybe I'll do that. In any case, that's it for the educational part of the stream tonight. I'm going to hang around for a few questions. I'm going to finish my burger. And yeah, I don't think I'll be able to get perch. You can use any decent whitefish. I usually use cod or haddock, but any firm whitefish will do fine. Perch would be great. I mean, hell, you could do rainbow trout too. I might be able to get that. Let me see what my options are. A larger whitefish is good for fish tacos because you can kind of cut it into like a square, cubey, rectangular thing that takes the batter really well and also doesn't fall apart in the oil. If it's too fragile, like you got to fry it up and then you got to get it into your taco with the whole thing falling apart. So, well, I'll show you guys how I cut it. Just a perch is like, he's a little guy. So, but I mean, the nice thing about, as I said, nice thing about fish tacos is you can bread anything that swims and throw it in the oil, and it's going to be good. Like, maybe not a turtle. This is crazy good. Okay, guys, if there's no more questions, I am going to take my beer, finish my burger, and chill out for the rest of the night. Thanks, everybody.